1. Okay. Three, two, one. Okay. Okay.
Hello everybody. Before I get started, as always, I want to give a shout out to the lovely music we've been listening to during free stream here. This is Dreamer by Declan DP. You can find their information in the lower left hand corner of the screen. Thank you to Declan and everybody like them who makes other free to use or low cost assets for us streamers so we can have better streams. Thank you very much. Right, I forgot to turn that on. One sec. But huzzah! It is I, Deuscain, your variety type streamer for the night. Tonight with a new model, new game. So we are going to be playing Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars Reforged. The game I wanted to play on Wednesday, but we'll talk about that. In the meantime, to discuss this current model, this is actually a redesign I've been working on for the last few months. I got it made as a PNG, and I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to start using it now. And Broken Sword's a good game to start this on. So, this model design was made by Karen Draws. Come on, let me grab the link. And that's their link there on Twitter. And I got the PNG model made by Kay, also known as Prairie of Air. So basically Karen was the one that made the overall look and brought it all together, and then Prairie is the one that actually gave me the PNG. So it's their work here that you're seeing, but Karen's the one that helped design it. So yeah, this is kind of the direction I'm going to be going in for next generation model. Don't know when we're going to have a live 2D version up and running, but at the very least I can play around with the PNG version, and also it's a little bit simpler than the other one, which I can kind of fiddle around with some stuff in the background because I've come across some things. They're like, hey, you can fiddle with the model and do some cool, easy things, and I'm like, oh, I probably should have been doing that all along. But yeah. So yeah, we're gonna be using this model tonight, and probably for a lot of the one-off streams, and we're gonna be definitely going in this direction for the foreseeable future when it comes to model design and model usage. Haven't completely retired the second generation one, but we are going to be drifting away from that. So just heads up there. So I have a few things to talk about this week. First of all, if I seem a little low energy, if I seem a little tired, it's probably because I am. Work has been a real son of a bitch for the past couple weeks. Just because last week I mentioned I got brought on board as a full-time associate employee. I am no longer a contractor with the company, which has a lot of benefits, has a lot of cool things, but the one negative is that there is a ton of paperwork, and for some reason we are godforsakenly busy at this point. So in addition to having paperwork to do, I also have work to do. And literally work is just draining the life out of me for the past 2 to 3. Well, last week and the week before were, I should clarify. This past week was work. Last week and the one before that, 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago, basically it was the prep for the new job, or the new position, and then the actual having to deal with that. And I had just days where yeah, no, I can't do anything. I cannot do anything right now other than paperwork. I have paperwork and training. And work's like, okay, we're going to assign you a ticket about somebody whose computer is completely down, and I bet you're going to worry about them being all pissed off at you when you call them up. I'm like, yay. I'm not happy about that at all. So, yeah. So it's been like that for most of the last few weeks. So yeah, if I'm a little low energy, if I'm a little bit of a tired EP boy, that is 100% why that's happening. Because, dear God, I would like a nap and some downtime, and I basically have just been crashing every night when I'm done with work and other stuff. So So it's been a thing. So yeah, so again, if I'm a little low energy, that's why. It has been a long week. Next week is probably going to be the worst week out of everything because I have something planned every night. I have stream planned every night. I have evening appointments that I have scheduled. I have a dentist appointment in the morning one day, and I have my car going in for inspection. So it is going to be a week. So I am, as I said, not looking forward to that. But unfortunately, a bunch of stuff just all happened to line up at exactly the same time. And the result is I'm just going to have a son of a bitch week. So. But. But I was really excited for this week. Persona 5 is great. I loved that on Monday. That was a great game. I'm really happy I was able to keep so much of that under wraps. And not have anybody spoiled for it. So, so I got to reveal that to a couple people live that really enjoyed it, and I could not be happier about that. I love being positive with my gremlin actions. It is fantastic. But, so yeah, if you missed Monday's stream, I have 2 new models specifically for Persona streams. One of them actually looks like an NPC, like, character portrait from in the game, and one of them is actually like a live 2D model of, like one of the characters. Like, looks like one of the transformed forms. So, looks really cool. I like it a lot. And I sprung both of those surprises on people, along with a whole new overlay system and all that good stuff. So I had a real blast with it. The game is actually pretty good. I think I'm still mostly in the tutorial section, but I'm not. I think I have 3 party members at the moment, and I think I can have up to 4. So I don't have my 4th yet. But I think I just recruited my 3rd at the end of stream. Sorry, my brain's a little bit scattered at the moment. Let me close something that's catching my attention. Oh boy. Again, this is the apologies for being the tired a little out of it. I am running on low. But Persona 5 went great. We're definitely gonna be playing more of it. The original plan was to play more of it tonight. However, with what happened on Wednesday, that's not an option. So what happened Wednesday with Broken Sword? So I got partway through the day, and I was like checking my email. I'm like, no, I haven't got an email saying Broken Sword went on sale yet. Let me check. And like 2, 3 in the afternoon, I check Steam, and Steam says the game's coming out in about 3 hours. I think it was like 3:30 or something. I read that, and I'm like, oh no. It's coming out right when I would be starting stream. It won't be out yet. I won't have time to prep it before stream. Let me send out a quick message notifying people that we're going to be a little bit late. We're still playing the game. Just, you know, we'll figure this out. So, got home, got ready, and 6 o'clock hit. Game did not unlock. I'm like, okay, so it's just going to take a little bit of time. I told everybody that I was going to, it may be like 6:30, 7 o'clock till we start playing. And I'm just sitting there the whole time, just kind of doing something. 5 minutes later, checking Steam. 5 minutes later, checking Steam. 5 minutes later, checking Steam. It never unlocked Wednesday night. I finally called stream an hour late at 7 p.m. and I'm like, it still hasn't unlocked. It's been saying any minute now for an hour. And I think right around the time I posted that, like it swapped to like they got rid of the date. Like they're just saying it's coming soon. I'm like, okay, this is not coming out. I don't know what's wrong with it. I could stream tonight. I could do some more Persona 5. I'm just kind of frustrated now. I was looking forward to doing this, and I'm really frustrated that I couldn't. And and just no, I need a night off. I took Wednesday off. I also took last night off because I could have done this stream last night, but again, you get to the end of the work day, get to the end of the work week that I've been going through, and I'm wiped. And I really just wanted some downtime. Not wanted, probably needed. So that's why we didn't do it last night. That's why we didn't do it Wednesday night. The game finally unlocked Thursday at like 9:30 in the morning. Entertainingly enough. So there must have been like a last minute patch or something. They're like, oh wait, here's this game breaking bug. And I'm like, ah, fucking shit. So yeah, funny, haha. I was telling a friend, I have like a little app on my phone for tarot card readings. And usually I don't pay them too much mind. I had one pop up for Wednesday, Broken Sword Day, that is the Tower card, which for anybody who knows tarot, the Tower card is really bad luck. It's like catastrophic failure. And having gone through the Tower card showing up several times before and having nothing happen, I'm like, Tower card, I see you trying to scare me. I ain't scared of you, Tower card. I ain't scared of... I should have been scared of the Tower card. I should have been so fucking scared of that Tower card. Dear God. Sucks. It sucks. So, yeah. Wednesday was a bit of a catastrophic failure. And the whole week's just been a mess. Like, I've had customers at work that I've gotten their schedules, and they're like, "Yeah, get back. I'm free on these days," and I leave at like 2:30 in the afternoon each day, and I start working on stuff, and I have things. I'm like, okay, we're just gonna finish up these couple of old things, and here's one thing I should be able to do quickly, and the quick things are never quick. I had one today that I'm like, all I have to do is call this lady and tell her she submitted the wrong paperwork. I can't give her what she's asking for, and she has to file the right paperwork. That was a 10-minute phone call with the next 45 minutes to an hour of documenting everything, because basically I told her to do a different procedure, and she dug in her heels and went, no, I'm not doing that. I refuse. And I'm like, well, you're not going to get it then. Well, I'll sign whatever I have to get it the way that I want. And I'm like, that's not the problem, lady. That's so not the problem right now. And I can't go into details of what's going on, but it was like 10 minutes on the phone with her, 45 minutes in a chat message with one of our managers talking about like the whole issue, and then like documenting everything in the ticket with screenshots, because I need to show that I both contacted her and that I'm talking with somebody to indicate that like she's refusing to do this. So yeah, surprisingly, after something like that in a day that like took like it cannonballs like an hour and a half of my time right before I have like a meeting. I think because I had a meeting at 11. So basically like it was like, I think I called her at 9:30, so 10 minutes with her. Then I contacted the other guy. Then it's like a little bit of time there working with him. Then like a half an hour writing everything up. Then I have the meeting when I'm in the meeting, and that's like a half an hour long. And afterwards I'm like, let me order for something for lunch. I blink and it's like, oh, it's 5 minutes before I should leave for lunch. Let me contact one customer for something quick and short and easy. It should be simple. It was not. So I started lunch like 15 minutes late. And I came back from lunch. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to sit down for a minute. Blink. What happened to the last hour and a half? Like, it's not a good week. It's so not a good week. And next week is going to be more of the same, I'm sure. So. But the one trade-off is next week, Bloomtown. Bloomtown is finally out next week. Hallelujah. I am so excited for that. I genuinely am. I might not sound that, but I am going to have to fight the urge to play the shit out of that game on my own time to avoid not ruining it for stream, because the game looks good. And also playing Persona 5, the more I play Persona 5, the more I'm like, oh yeah, Bloomtown is just 100% copying it. But that being said, I like a cute art style. And yeah. But anyway, let me get the game booted up. We've been chatting long enough. So let me boot up the game. We'll hop over to that and we'll have some fun. Okay, there that is. Alright, yeah, Broken Sword was real quiet there. I kind of like that. It's like it's not blowing up my ears like most games do. That's why I have my speakers turned down so low. Or not my speakers, my settings in OBS turned down so low, because most things are just like, hey, you started the game? Oh, I love this. This is good. Alright, but yeah, new game. I got nothing to load, so. Enjoy the interactive story at your own pace. Incidental actions you have tried before are removed. Automatic hints for gentle guidance during gameplay. Let's do the classic. Which also, yes, why am I playing this game? So one of my very favorite streamers, a Vividly Vivi, this is one of her favorite games, if not her absolute favorite game. And I was debating playing it when I found out it was coming out. And then she said something like, yeah, I if you're a mutual, I will watch you play this game. And I'm like, we're not mutuals. I'm playing this game for the oshi. We are doing it. Because I love Vivi. She's so good. She's good people. But, alright. So, classic mode. I'm going to make Vivi proud. Use control methods for the tutorial. You can use any control method at any time. I'm going to go with the mouse. Left click to walk around. Move the cursor to find points of interest. Okay. When you hover over something interesting, action buttons will pop up. Oh, that hand looks so good. My God. Left click to interact. Right click to examine. Click here to show the menu bar. Access menu options, game help, and controls here. Okay.
Paris in the fall, the last months of the year and the end of the millennium. The city holds many memories for me, of cafes, of music, of love, and of death.
Dun dun dun. Okay, guys, I didn't mean it that seriously. Revolution. I like it. Good logo. Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, Reforged. God, this looks good. Director Charles Cecil. Scriptwriters David Cummins and Jonathan Howard. Technical Director Just Peters. Technical Design Director Andrew Boskett. Original programmers, only 4 people. Long Porter Skies and Warner? Production, executive producer, Revolution producer, someone else. Boy, this is going a lot faster. Art director, Mark Yeager. Thank you for this, Mark. Background directors, animation leads. Here we go. Okay, starting it off with a bang.
As I picked myself up, all I could hear was the ceaseless drone of traffic. Life went on around me. But the explosion was to change my life forever. The umbrella had protected me from the bomb blast, but it was of no use to me now.
It protected you?
I contemplated crawling under the umbrella and pretending none of this had ever happened.
Oh my god, I love it.
Wrapped around the lamppost was a newspaper. The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state. That was the only news story. The rest was rumor, gossip, and sensationalism. Then I noticed the writing at the foot of the page. It read Salah ad-Din, 1345.
Oh, hey, we got a thing in our inventory. Found an item. New controls help is available. Sure. Click here or press spacebar to see your items. Right click to examine an item. Left click to use an item. To use an item, left click it to carry it. And left click it again. To combine items together, use them with each other. Okay.
The table had been overturned by the explosion. I considered straightening the table, but I figured it best not to disturb the evidence.
Well, he's not wrong.
It was the body of the old man. It was hard to believe I'd seen him alive only minutes before. I tried not to meet his stare as I searched the dead man's pockets.
Dude.
No wallet, no papers, no credit cards. The guy's past was a blank page.
Don't just try and rob a corpse, man. What is wrong with you?
A mysteriously undamaged bottle of spirit stood on the bar. I needed a stiff drink, but I hated the taste of brandy.
And there's nothing else to interact with in here other than the lady.
The pretty young waitress was unconscious.
Oh, my head. Never again. How much vodka did I drink? Oh, no, don't tell me. What is your name, Sherry?
George Stobbart, ma'am.
Oh, American.
She asked the question quite innocently, but I could sense her reserve. It was something which seemed to afflict all Europeans.
Yeah,
You
we're
look
kinda
like you could use
jerks.
a little help.
I could use a little drink. I feel sick, dizzy, and bruised. I don't even remember the party.
Just relax and take it easy. You've been knocked out.
You don't say. What happened?
There's been an explosion. You should try not to move.
Are you a doctor?
No, but I used to play hospitals when I was a kid. Can you remember anything at all?
No. I need a drink. Pour me a brandy.
Is that straight or with ice?
Just give me the bottle with a teat on it.
I guess a little drop won't hurt.
You're not a good person.
That's better.
She knocked back the brandy as if it was water. I was glad I wasn't picking up the check.
What about your man? Is he dead?
Yes, he is.
Oh, mon Dieu.
Mon
I've
Dieu.
never seen a real-life corpse before. Except for Grandmaman. That was different. She was family. Has he gone stiff?
I shouldn't think so. He's only been dead a few minutes. Did you know the old man?
Yeah, who was he?
No, monsieur. I never saw him before.
What about the clown?
Do you remember what happened when the clown entered?
I remember that horrible tune he played all right. It was like a funeral dirge.
I'd never liked accordion music either. Did this newspaper belong to the old gentleman?
I don't know.
Someone has scribbled a note on it. It reads, Salah Ed-Din, 1345. Does that mean anything to you?
No, monsieur, nothing.
Okay.
Stay here, mademoiselle. I'm going to look around for evidence. I checked his pockets. Nothing.
So I'm going back outside. So I noticed I could go down the street.
Freeze! Hold it, right there.
Oh, don't shoot. I'm innocent. I'm an American.
Can't make up your mind, eh?
I demand to see the American consul.
Drop your weapons and get down on the ground.
Put that thing away, Sergeant Moo. I apologize, monsieur, but I cannot permit you to leave.
Am I under arrest?
Ah, no, I would simply like to ask you some questions. En avant, to the café, marche.
Makes sense.
What a mess. This bombing is an outrage, is it not?
Stop that, monsieur. Stop holding your breath at once.
Has it occurred
So
to
he
you
was
that
very
he may be
stoic,
dead?
and then he could
Moo?
turn.
Oui, monsieur. But I prefer to look on the bright side. Besides, I recall a case where the killer escaped by feigning death. However, in this case, the man is quite dead. Clearly, the killer knew of his presence and...
How many times have I warned you about premature extrapolation? All we know is that he is dead.
it seemed reasonable to assume...
A great detective assumes nothing. Take Maigret, for instance.
But he was a fictitious character, monsieur. Why, he was no more real than Poirot or Tintin.
That's different, Moo. They were comedy Belgians. Anyway, it is unlikely that even you will learn much from talking to the dead. Examine the girl and take her statement, if you can.
I doubt if she is in a fit state for questioning, monsieur. It smells to me as if she has been drinking.
As I feared, we have stumbled upon a den of iniquity, Moo.
Leave her to me, sir. I am used to handling drunken women.
I do not doubt that for one moment. Et maintenant,
Ew.
to
That's a
business.
sussy statement.
Your name, please?
George Stobbart. I'm from California.
And what brings you to Paris, Monsieur Stobbart?
Travel. I'm touring Europe.
You chose well. The city is most beautiful at this time of year, no?
Yeah, I guess so. Apart from the bomb blasts.
Oh, he makes
Were
a
you
good
in
point.
the vicinity of the cafe at the time of the explosion?
I was right outside.
Yeah, I was sitting out on the sidewalk. I was lucky I wasn't killed. The inspector passed over my remark with no reaction.
Did you see the deceased enter the cafe?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
Was he alone?
Yeah.
And did he say anything to you?
No. He was more interested in the waitress.
Did you see anyone else in the cafe?
Clown.
Yeah, there was a guy dressed as a clown. He was carrying an accordion.
An accordion? Bon, the picture is forming in my mind, and it is not a pretty one. Is the girl all right, Moo?
She'll live if she survives the hangover. She doesn't remember seeing a clown, monsieur.
That's odd, don't you think, monsieur? Who am I to believe, I wonder? Eh bien, I have heard enough.
What do you mean?
I am satisfied that you know nothing. You may leave. I hope this little incident does not spoil the rest of your vacation.
What about my personal safety? Can't you at least give me some advice?
What can I say? Stay alert and look out for suspicious characters.
Like the two of you?
And don't cross the road until the little man shows green.
Great advice.
I honestly believe you are in no danger, monsieur. Should you remember anything of importance, please contact me. My card.
Thanks.
That is all. You may go.
There's not much to go on, monsieur.
On the surface, no. But what lurks inside the subconscious? If the door can only be opened.
Are you serious, monsieur? I thought your interest in psychic detection was purely academic.
Psychic
Academic?
detection?
You are about to witness a scientific breakthrough.
The girl presented a confident but sullen mask to the world, an expression more suited to the face of a delinquent youth. Excuse me, mademoiselle? Hi, my name's George Stobbart.
Oh, an American by the sound of it.
Yeah, that's right, on holiday in Paris. Some holiday, huh?
You were here when the bomb went off?
Sure was. Sat right out front of the cafe.
Did you notice a middle-aged man, maybe 60, with an hat and overcoat?
I couldn't believe it. She hadn't even asked how I was feeling. Yeah, he went inside just before the bomb exploded. You weren't related to him, were you?
Oh no, nothing like that. I am Nicole Collard from La Liberté.
Well, what's that, some kind of nightclub?
No, it is a newspaper.
Nightclub would be more
reporter?
fun.
I'm a freelance photojournalist.
Say, you can interview me about the bombing. You know, an eyewitness account. Minutes after the outrage that shook the whole of Paris. You know, real-life drama, human interest, that kind of stuff.
I'll just stick to the facts, thank you. Did you see who planted the bomb?
I know it sounds crazy, but he was dressed like a clown.
Oh God, it's him again.
Again?
Have you met the clown before?
It's a long story.
I have plenty of time.
I don't.
Fair.
Who's the guy you were supposed to meet?
His name was Planter. I didn't know him, but he called me last night. He said he had a story which would interest me. He asked me to meet him at the cafe. I guess I'll never know what he wanted to tell me.
Not unless you have Rosso's gift for psychic interrogation. Do you know a police officer called Rosso?
Rosso? Our paths have a knack of crossing. If I didn't know better, I'd say it was deliberate. Have you seen Rosso? Is he here?
He's inside, attempting to question a witness with his psychic powers.
That guy is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You speak very good English for a French girl.
Thanks. You speak very good English from America.
Oh, she's sassy. I like her.
Why won't you tell me about this clown?
Why do you want to get involved?
Because he almost killed me. Isn't that reason enough?
I guess so. Listen, I'll give you my phone number.
Ooh.
You help me with my story, and I'll let you in on what I know. And let's get one thing straight right now. This is strictly business.
But of course.
Okay, it's a deal.
I have to go develop these pictures. A bientôt, monsieur.
Fine, I'll, see you soon. The sergeant was a scrawny man in his 50s who resembled a constipated chicken. Excuse me, Sergeant.
You heard the inspector. Go on, monsieur.
Did you find the victim's briefcase yet?
No, sir. The inspector gave me specific instructions to guard this door. Until he countermands these orders or backup arrives, here I stay.
I really did see the clown. He ran into the alley across the street.
Did you follow him?
That's your job, not mine.
An armed chase through the streets of Paris? That's not our style, monsieur. Inspector Rosso may be unorthodox, but he's not crazy.
This game is really charming. I like it a lot.
How did you and Rosso arrive at the scene of the explosion so quickly? You
Very
arrived
good
in
question.
minutes. Was it a tip-off?
Inspector Rosso's sources are a perpetual mystery to me, monsieur. There are some who say he has made a pact with the devil.
And what do you think?
I think he is the devil.
Good thing to say about your boss.
I was one of the last people to see the victim alive, Sergeant.
Does that worry you?
Yes, it does. I feel I owe it to him to find his killer.
That is best left to the authorities, monsieur.
He's
Did
right.
he speak to you? Tell you anything?
No, he just grinned and nodded.
Don't let it trouble you, monsieur. Go home and try to forget.
I know the identity of the dead guy. His name was Plantar.
Is that so? You knew him, did you?
No, but
We'll know everything there is to know about him soon enough.
I'm trying to be helpful here.
The best way you can help us is to go home, monsieur.
Yeah, these people are extremely suspicious.
I found this in the street, Sergeant.
That, monsieur, is a newspaper, no?
There's a note written on it. Salah Eddin, 1345.
Ah, so the meeting with the clown was planned.
How do you make that out?
The time of the explosion was between 1:30 and 2 o'clock, n'est-ce pas?
I guess so. But what about the name?
Aha!
That stumped you, hasn't it?
I have never been stumped, as you put it, in my life, monsieur. It is the name assumed by the clown, no?
Salah Eddin the clown? I don't think so.
Yeah, unlikely.
Look, Sergeant, the inspector gave me his card.
Yes, monsieur. He wants you to advise him if you have any information concerning this case.
Well, I'd be glad to talk with him, but I don't want him working his psycho weirdness on me.
Ah, no, monsieur. You are confusing the science of parapsychology with witchcraft.
Oh, yeah? What's the difference?
We don't do sacrifices.
The difference is we don't do sacrifices.
What is Rosso doing with that girl?
He is giving her the once-over, as you Americans say.
Huh?
Once he gets his teeth into a case, nothing will shake him off.
Was he serious about all that psycho detective stuff?
Of course. Inspector Rosso is a pioneer and a visionary. His revolutionary methods, once perfected, may change the face of law enforcement forever.
I can't see it taking off in L.A. See you later, Sergeant.
Nothing up there.
The blast had blown out the glass, leaving a gaping hole. I examined the jagged glass remaining in the window. It was broken, all right.
Alright, so that's nothing else to look at.
The table had been overturned by the explosion. I considered straightening the table, but I figured it best not to disturb the evidence. I contemplated crawling under the umbrella and pretending none of the...
Oh, there is... Oh, I can walk.
It was an iron cover concealing the entrance to a drain or sewer.
This is where we saw the clown run.
I tried to lift the cover with my fingers, but couldn't gain any leverage.
Yeah?
It was a plastic crate. There was nothing of interest.
Alright.
It was a battered old trash can. I'd had it with sticking my nose into French trash cans.
Fair, fair.
It was a battered old trash can. It smelled like someone had dumped a truckload of fish in a locker room on a hot summer afternoon.
Ugh.
It was a stack of cardboard boxes which had once contained bottles of wine. I examined the boxes closely. They were damp and smelly and decidedly empty.
Okay.
The window was protected by stout-looking iron bars. The drain pipe looked as if it would bear my weight. I took a deep breath and prepared to climb the drain pipe. I guess the clown had an escape over the rooftops. I decided I'd had enough of messing with that drain pipe.
Okay. So I've checked everything in the alley. Let's talk to you.
The muscular workman wore a morose expression, like a silent warning to leave him to get on with his job. Hi, can you spare a few minutes?
I thought you'd been arrested.
No, it was a misunderstanding.
When he pulled that gun, gah, I thought that was it. Those automatics pack quite a punch, you know?
He made a mistake. He thought I was a terrorist.
You? A terrorist? Ha!
He was only doing his duty, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you see an old guy with a briefcase?
Wait, silly old coot. Do you know what he said to me?
No,
Work
tell me.
Fascinates me, he says. I could watch it all day. Quel bit. I could have knocked his block off.
Did you see a clown come by this way?
A clown? Like in a circus?
Yeah, with makeup and a big red nose.
Huh! Those guys are funny, aren't they?
Not in my experience.
I love the circus, especially the horses.
You haven't answered my question. Have you seen a clown?
You think I've got time to watch everyone who passes by? Some of us have to work for a living.
Look, I know you're busy.
I told you
He was wearing multicolored baggy
he'd be a poor sort of...
Did you recognize?
No.
No, but I guess he is now. His name was Plantar.
Was?
Yeah.
That's too... Now I wish I hadn't called. If only I could turn back the clock.
Regret and remorse are strange emotion. They really bring out the hammiest actors in people. Listen,
Say,
No, of course.
I guess not. How do you know this guy's a kid?
Didn't you hear the explosion?
The clown?
That's right. Blew him up.
Merde. But why did he go to the
Who can unravel the tangled logic of a killer's? I guess it's some deep-seated Take a look at this.
You told me you what?
Don't shout about it. I'm working.
Who are you looking?
That's confident. Would you like to read my newspaper?
I haven't got time to read that. Can't you see I'm busy?
You could read it on your lunch break.
10 minutes is all I get. And if my boss had his way,
10 minutes,
I wouldn't
oof.
get that. He'd have me on a drip. so I didn't have to stop to eat.
Oh, take the newspaper and quit complaining.
Bah! Look at this! Damn bleeding out liberals! Tja! Save the dolphins, catch them and eat them, I say! All that fuss over a bunch of fish!
Holy
Nah,
shit, this old
that's
man's
more
vicious.
like it! Look at the size of those! Like champagne bottle corks, no? Ah, what's this? Saladin running in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe!
It's a racehorse?
A horse? A legend! Bucephalus reborn, mon ami! Like a streak of lightning, she is!
Okay, that's a useful thing.
Do me a favor, won't you? Keep an eye on my hole. I'm off to put some money on that nag.
Okay.
It was a huge and weighty-looking engineer's telephone. It was a battered metal toolbox. I'd found just what I wanted. A tool.
Nice.
It was a tent made out of plastic sheeting. There was nothing inside the tent.
Sure, I'll call her.
Bonjour, Kula.
Oh, hi. It's George Stobbart, the American at the cafe.
Ah, oui.
You said to call if I could help.
Have you any news for me?
Well, I haven't had a lot of luck.
You found nothing.
No.
Look, I'm very busy right now. Call me if you have any news, okay?
Oh. Yeah, I guess.
Hi
Adieu,
there,
monsieur.
couple.
Yeah, see ya.
Okay, so I wasn't supposed to call her.
Set into the huge gate was a smaller access door.
Can I go in here?
The door was securely locked.
Nope. Walk off the screen. I can go to the police station, or I can go into the sewers. Let's go to the sewers. But I always wanted, poor Georgie never got a sewer tool for his birthday as a kid. Shame. Yeah.
The cover was too heavy.
Alright, so we go in here.
I lifted the cover to reveal what smelt like the entrance to a sewer.
Down we go.
It was a shiny red plastic ball sat incongruously on the slippery green-slimed floor. As I picked up the plastic ball, I realized it was intended to be worn.
Yeah, it's a clown nose.
It was the clown's red nose.
Have you tried the old graphic toggles? I think it's tab? No, I have not tried that yet. Oh wow, yeah. Look at that. Look at that glow up.
It was a soggy, crumpled paper tissue. I scooped up the sodden tissue. It was a small scrap of...
Sure, let's take that.
I took hold of the scrap of material and unsnagged it from the spike. The railing was put there for a simple reason.
Now, where does this lead up to?
Hi there.
Hold it right there, you sewer rat.
That's
I
me.
knew you would come back. And now I've got you.
What are you talking about?
You're trespassing. Come out of there immediately.
That's what I'm trying to do. Give me your hand.
Ha! You won't catch me with tricks like that. Keep your distance, monsieur.
Okay, okay.
Now, what were you looking for?
Oh wow, so it's like almost like slime there now, and then it leaves here.
I was looking for a clown.
Huh? Ridiculous.
He planted a bomb in the...
What? The cafe? Blown up? Mon Dieu. That is awful. And you say the person responsible was dressed as a clown?
The
That's
shadow
right.
works really nice.
He blew up the
It is.
cafe, escaped into the sewer, changed his clothes, and came up here.
Ah, mon Dieu. And then, the man I chased. Do you think that man and the clown are one and the same?
Well, yes, it had crossed my mind.
Ah, that still does not explain what you were doing down the sewer. For all I know, you are in league with him.
I mean, he makes
Oh,
a
no,
point, but
I'm just a tourist.
Haha, most tourists are content with the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, or the Pigalle. I didn't realize my waste pipes were such an attraction.
okay.
Tell me about the man...
What is there to tell? He was a typical...
Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, he doesn't. Who is he?
The man who was killed in the cafe. I'm gonna find the guy responsible. I'll find him. Even if it means following him down every sewer in every city in Europe.
Oh, it's ad break
you
time.
need some sensible boots. You won't get far in those stupid sneakers.
All right, let's do a BRB, and we'll be back in a few minutes, everybody. All right, I am back.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
Why, I didn't notice. Now are you going to leave? Or do I have to call the police?
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
Oh, hey, she isn't hurt, is she?
No, she's fine.
Oh, thank heavens. A poor girl like her isn't safe with the likes of you roaming the streets.
Can't you understand? I'm not a gangster. I'm an American tourist.
Ah, that's what you say.
I mean, he makes a valid point.
Take a look at this false nose.
I've never seen it before in my life.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur. It's disgusting. What on earth possessed you to show it to me? Someone had emptied their nostrils into it.
Do you recognize this material?
I am not telling you anything.
This is what I used to open the manhole cover.
Just as I thought. You are up to no good, thou no swears, what you?
One slip and I would have been up to my neck. Perhaps you'd like to take a look at my card?
What is this? Inspector Augustin Rousseau? What does that say? Hominoid Division?
A homicide. I think the ink's smudged.
Then you are not a tourist.
Okay, I'm not. I lied to you. And I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, monsieur. You know, I had a feeling there was something different about you.
Oh, this guy.
Your posture, your poise. Oh, yes. There is no mistaking the bearing of a disciplined man. And I should know.
Oh, he's
I
kissing
was
ass.
in the army, you know. When I was your age, I was fighting for my life in the African desert. How can I help you, Inspector?
Let's start over from the beginning and tell it just like it was. Tell me about the man you apprehended.
He was a mean one, monsieur. He grabbed me in an arm lock. His face suddenly next to mine. His grip was like iron, but he did not know what he was up against. Oh no, he made a big mistake when he took on one of the desert hyenas.
Yes, I get the picture. Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Do you know the waitress?
So you don't want to hear about my I fought to make this country.
I'm sure you did, but I'm a little short of time. Do you know the...
You.
Just answer the...
Yes, I know her. Quite well, you could say. She came to work at the cafe 7 months ago. I look forward all week to the relief she gives me when she visits.
Really?
Dear Lord.
So you'd miss her if she wasn't there?
Oh, mais oui. Where else would I find to cut my toenails?
Ugh.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
Why, yes, it was. Clutched in his arms like a baby.
That belonged to his victim.
Oh, what do you think was in it? Drugs? Stolen jewels?
I don't know, but the killer thought it was worth a man's life.
Nothing is worth that, monsieur.
Take a look at this false nose.
Aha! That looks like a clown's nose to me.
Precisely. He must have dropped it in his panic.
Unless he wanted you to find it.
Why would he want to do that?
To put you off the scent.
Or he was dropping his disguise.
Did I show you this tissue?
We miss you.
Does this piece of material mean anything to you?
That is the same cloth as the jacket I found. I'd recognize that pattern anywhere.
The jacket.
Now, about the jacket you found. Do you have it here?
No, monsieur. One of the sleeves was badly torn, so I sent it for repair. Pity, because otherwise it was a fine piece of quality tailoring. It had the tailor's name inside on the label.
Where did you send the jacket?
Yeah, tell me.
I gave it to an itinerant Romani seamstress.
Just my luck. Was there anything in the jacket pockets?
Not a sou. You know what I think?
Do tell me.
He changed out of the clown suit and cunningly disguised himself as an ordinary person.
Makes sense.
Looks like I'm up against a mastermind. What was the name on the label?
Ah, it was a foreign name. Todrick, I think.
Did you get the address?
There wasn't one, monsieur. Only a telephone number.
Ooh.
Well, I don't expect you to remember a phone number you've only seen once.
74 98 08 59.
You're kidding. That's his phone number?
Yes, that's it. A little secret number that I learned in the desert. I was taught the technique by a Tuareg shaman.
That's incredible.
It comes in handy at the supermarket checkout. Do I get a reward?
Honesty, monsieur, is its own reward.
Then I'm glad I do not rely on honesty to pay the bills.
Did I show you my tool?
Oui, monsieur. Just like mine. Except that it is much smaller.
Oh, you cheeky little bitch, you. I love you.
I have to be going. Thanks to your help, the citizens of Paris can sleep a little easier tonight.
Vraiment? I was only doing my duty, monsieur. Good luck, Inspector. I hope you catch that killer soon. I'll let you out.
Oh! It was the door right by... Oh.
I hope you find your man, Inspector.
So do I.
Yeah, let's call the pretty lady.
Hello? Who is this? Hi. My name's George Stobbart. You don't know me.
Correct, Mr. Stobbart. I don't. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm trying to trace one of your customers. Could I maybe come over and talk to you?
No. No, that's not possible.
Oh, okay. Forget it. Listen, all I want is a name.
What are you talking about? Who are you working for?
I guess you might say I'm acting in the interests of truth and justice.
But that's cheesy.
Thank God. I thought you were the police.
There are innocent lives at stake, Mr. Todrick. Lives that you could save.
You're collecting for charity, yes?
No, I'm not. All I want from you is information.
Go on. I'm listening.
Do you know a guy called Plantar?
No, I never heard of him.
Shall I tell you what happened? How he was killed?
I told you.
I expect in their little apartment, Madame Plant, listening for the... Junior is waiting. He can't wait to show him the... Only tonight?
You forgot the pup.
Huh?
The faithful puppy dog.
Well, maybe they don't have a dog.
I don't know, Plantar. None of this has...
Okay.
What do you know
Entertaining.
about the clown who bombed the Café de la Chandelle Verte?
I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
You're cool, Todrick. But I think you know more than you're saying.
I don't know who you be, but sure I am you don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know if you're saying that to make me think you don't know what I mean, but... Oh, this is ridiculous. Quit playing games with me, Todrick.
I tell you, I know nothing about no clown.
Did you know that one of your customers was a part-time clown?
If a guy feels happy with a funny nose and custard down his pants, what's the problem?
Thanks for nothing, Todrick.
Okay.
Bonjour, Kula.
It's me again, George Stobbart.
Hi, George. Any news?
You bet. I met a witness who spoke to the clown. And I know where the killer gets his suits.
No kidding. Hey, I'm impressed.
You are? Well, it wasn't easy.
Look, why don't you come here to my apartment?
Fine.
Ooh.
Where do you live?
361 Rue Jarry.
Okay, I'll come right over.
Okay.
The woman was doing something with a pair of needles that couldn't be described as knitting. She was a cheery old soul, the kind you'd walk across the street to avoid.
George.
Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your future?
No thanks.
I'm very good, and it only takes a minute.
Thanks all the same, but I'm not superstitious. Besides, if it only takes a minute, that's not much of a future to look forward to. Are the flowers for sale?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. I'll take a bunch of those white ones.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
No?
They are lilies, monsieur. Some people associate them with death.
Yikes. Well, thanks for telling me.
Okay, good point, yeah.
What are the flowers?
Dahlias?
What do they signify?
Insecurity.
I don't want to give her the wrong idea about me. What about the tall yellow ones?
Those are iris, the flame of passion.
And the little yellow ones?
Sensuality.
Well, they're no use to me. I want to make an impression, not jump down her throat.
Oh my god.
Do you know a young woman called Nicole Collard?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me, in the apartment block across the street. The door isn't locked, but you'll need to give it a gentle nudge. It sticks, you see, because of the damp. The landlord said he'd fixed it before winter sets in. He's been saying that for 3 years.
How long has Mademoiselle Collard lived here?
A few months. She's in for a shock when the cold weather comes. Drafty windows, insufficient heating. It's a struggle to keep warm. The only reason I stay is because the rent is cheap. You're a young lady. She deserves better.
I thought Mademoiselle Collard was a successful photographer.
Not as successful as she makes out for all her fine clothes. Oh, I've heard her crying herself to sleep at night.
That's awful.
Now don't you let on that I've told you. She's proud, that one. Too proud, if you ask me.
I've changed my mind. Will you tell my fortune?
You're going on a long journey.
My, oh my. What a surprise. Can you tell me anything I don't already know?
10 francs, please, my dear.
10 francs? That's a ripoff.
Please yourself.
How does this fortune-telling routine...
If I knew that, I wouldn't be selling flowers for a living.
Haven't you ever wondered why you were blessed with the gift?
Well, it's a bit like satellite television, I suppose. Some of us are born with a built-in receiver dish. I just happen to be one of the lucky ones.
You seem one of the lucky ones, lady.
Can you really
Only time. The strange thing is, I can't seem to see myself in the future. Other people? But when I try to see what might happen to me, nothing.
That must be scary.
Maybe. I figure it's a kind of either that.
Huh.
What can you
Nothing.
What can you
It's a very expensive.
Do you recognize...
No.
What do you make of this tool?
Is it something
No, it's...
formidable?
See you later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
The shop window featured a display of gowns and women's stuff. It wasn't the style of the clothes in the shop that caught my eye, but the prices. The same amount of money would feed a starving family for the rest of their lives. I guess people who buy that kind of stuff don't have a problem with their consciences.
Jeez, George.
The shop window featured a display of gowns and women's stuff. The window was full of overpriced clothes. It was a food store selling fruit and vegetables. I glanced without much interest at the fruit. It was dusty, shriveled, and tired looking. The door was shabby and in need of a coat of paint. I couldn't imagine the Collard woman living here. Remembering the flower seller's advice, I pushed the door gently just above the lock.
Nice.
Bonjour. I'm glad you could make it, monsieur.
Please, call me George.
Fine. I'm Nicole. Take a seat, George. Eh bien? And what have you been up to?
I've been exploring the sewers beneath the cafe.
I thought I could smell something bad.
The clown used the sewer to escape and to change out of his costume. I guess he was in a hurry. He left his jacket behind.
And?
I got his tailor's phone number.
You had better luck than I did.
Luck, she said. Luck! Hard work, I'd call it. What happened?
I took my photographs to the editor, but he wasn't interested. Can you believe it? He told me to drop his story.
But you're not about to do that.
Oh no, I am going to find out what's behind these killings. You know what I think? It's a conspiracy. The police in 3 different countries have kept very quiet about the murders. The press don't connect them at all. They blame them on political, religious, or militant minority extremists.
That covers just about everyone. How did Plantar get your name?
For the newspaper, Revolution, I'd written an article linking 2 unsolved murders, one in Italy and the other in Japan. The cases were remarkably similar. A wealthy victim, no apparent motive, and a costume killer. Plantar said he could supply me with more information. Somehow, the clown must have known about our appointment.
May I use your telephone?
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks. Tell me more about the clown's previous victims.
Yeah, who this guy
The
kill?
first was Arno Bellotta, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines in the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it! Millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off.
Was he killed for his money?
No. He had no living relatives, and his fortune went to the orphanage where he'd grown up. The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was led to his death by a snowman.
No man, huh?
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese green politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium. He was committed to dismantling Japan's automobile industry.
I can't see him gaining much support with a loony policy like that.
Yamada was a man of vision. He was years ahead of his time.
If you say so. How did he die?
At the hands, or should I say, flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
I'm sorry, what? He killed him dressed up as a penguin?
A snowman, a penguin, and now a clown. You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary. And I'll tell you what, I won't be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. This story could be my only chance of a big break.
Or a premature death. I found this false nose in the sewer.
Hey, what's this inside it?
The contents of someone's nose?
Don't be cross, George. It says La Rite du Monde. Masks and costumes. It's a costume shop near the Gare Saint-Lazare.
I'll check it out. Maybe the owner remembers who hired the clown costume.
Why don't you put it on, George?
No way am I wearing this. I'd look really stupid. Besides, he might have had a cold. I found this tissue down the sewer.
Oh, bro, that's disgusting, George.
I think the stuff on it is grease paint, like actors use. Or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get rid of it.
I found a piece of material near the cafe. When I showed it to the concierge, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until you see this. I developed the film I shot at the cafe. Here, George, it's an enlargement I made. Look what that guy's wearing.
Checkered pants. The same material as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh no?
Take a close look at his left cheek.
A scar. In the shape of a horseshoe.
Oh, a crescent moon.
Gotta admit, I think her place looks much better in the new version.
How come you enlarged this photograph of me?
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
This is the tool I used to get into the sewers.
Fascinating, George.
You're not interested, are you?
Oh, of course I am. I think it was very brave of you to go down those sewers.
Yeah? Well, it was kind of scary, but... Well, I had a job to do. Tell me more about yourself.
Oh, there is not much to tell.
Well, how did you get into photography?
I guess I owe that to my father. He bought my first camera. I was 8 and my parents had just split up.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Did you live with your father?
Yes, my mother went off with her new boyfriend. I don't mind. Papa was all I needed. 4 years later, he died in a plane crash.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's all right. I don't mind talking about him. He was more like an older brother, really. Always joking and laughing. Papa always wanted I should study art. That's why I went to college.
Did you learn about photography at college?
Oh, God, no. I couldn't afford the materials. We were billed for everything we used. Paint, canvas, paper. Most of my year turned to minimalism. It was cheaper. I used to go poaching in the park for squirrel hair. The only time I wasn't hungry was the term I did printing. I used to eat the potatoes.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh, no.
Do you have a boyfriend?
That's none of your business.
Rosso didn't blink when I told him about the clown. It's as if he already knew.
That is typical of a cold fish like Rosso. I've seen cheeseburgers with more spunk.
May I use your telephone?
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks.
Paris in the fall joined forces with a Parisian journalist called Nico.
Hello? Who is... Mr. Did you make a suit for a man with a scar in the
Maybe. Maybe not.
Tell me where I can find him and I'll leave you alone.
And if I don't,
I won't leave you alone.
I can't tell you anything unless you give me his name.
Do you know where I can...
I told you.
Okay.
Thanks for nothing, Todrick.
So he'll help me if he gives me the name, if I can get the name.
Do you want this photo?
No, you keep it.
Okay.
I'm going back out to search for that clown.
Where?
I guess I could visit the costume shop.
Good idea.
Okay. I feel like I'm making good progress.
Ooh. It was a disgustingly realistic plastic novelty, like one I'd left on the teacher's desk at school. Boy, that caused so much of a stink you'd have thought it was a real one. As my fingers closed on the plastic novelty, I realized my mistake. It was a novelty, all right, but it wasn't plastic. The sight of the dog waste set my stomach churning again.
Okay.
The dummy wore a traditional Puro costume. At least, I guess it was a dummy. I gave the dummy Puro a tentative prod, but it... She reminded me of a girl I dated back in... Come to think of it, the dummy had more personality. As I was about to touch the dummy, I realized it had... The strange thing was, I hadn't realized I'd noticed the color of it. It was an antique phonograph, the kind...
Do you like the music?
The guy's spoon-shaped face was mournful and humorless. He looked like a vegetarian in a slaughterhouse. Excuse me.
Bonjour, monsieur. Please, come in. Welcome. Leave the mundane world behind. For in these four walls, fantasy is king.
I don't want a costume.
Didn't you ever dress up when you were a child?
Not that I remember.
Incredible. You'll be telling me next that you never shared your elder sister's lingerie.
I don't have a
What?
sister, and I think I'd look pretty silly in a brassiere. I just need some information.
Of course. How can I help you?
Do you want this red nose back?
Not after it's been worn, thank you.
I'm looking for a man who hired a clown costume from you.
Oui, monsieur. I do not see how I can help.
Don't you keep a record of...
Of course.
Well, then I'd like to... Give me the names of every...
Impossible.
There are too many. Okay.
Have you heard of a man...
I do not
The clown I'm looking... Give me his name.
I'd help you if I could. You see, the clown, on average, we hire out more than 30 clown suits a week. You'll
Good
have
Lord.
to give me more to go by.
Do you recognize this man?
Ah oui? He was here this morning.
How come clowns are...
I think it has something to...
Personally, I think clown...
Oh, come now.
Me, for one. Are you sure this is the...
Oui, monsieur.
Are you sure that...
Oui, monsieur.
Do you want this red...
Not...
Does this dirty...
Festheimer's number 7 white pancake.
Theatrical grease paint, right?
Oui, monsieur. La crème de la crème of Cespian accoutrement.
Have you sold any of it recently?
Yes, 2 cans.
Okay.
About this,
I have already...
are you sure this is the man who...
Oui, monsieur. He chose 2 costumes. Bozo the clown and Seamus the pixie.
A pixie?
Very smart. Green silk with a taffeta lining. He gave me his name as Monsieur Khan.
Are you sure this...
Certainement, Monsieur.
What does this tool mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur.
Do you want this red nose back?
Not
Okay.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
my pleasure, monsieur. Allow me to shake you by the hand.
Huh? Well, okay.
Zap buzzer.
What are you trying to do, kill me?
You did not find it amusing?
I never saw the funny side of electroshock therapy.
Eh bien, it is yours to keep. A gift?
Do I need a license?
No, but I give you a word of warning, monsieur.
What?
Remember to switch it off before you visit the toilet.
Okay, that's cute. That's funny.
No way was I gonna...
Okay, that one's done. I've done everything I can. Cafe?
The muscular workman wore... Hi.
You're the guy who gave
Huh?
the racehorse.
Oh,
I put every franc I...
listen,
my lifetime savings.
Oh, God.
She won by 3 lengths. I'm a rich man.
Call me Lucky George, the punter's friend. So how come you're still here?
I'm not going to let my newfound wealth change me, not one bit. I bought this hole, fittings and all. Now I can come and go as I please. No more clocking on or completion schedules. No foreman breathing down my neck. Thanks to you, I've found paradise.
I'm getting a mushy feeling in my chest. But not half as mushy as your head.
What do you want now?
Do you recognize...
No,
What do you make of this...
it would be more amusing.
Do you recognize...
Certainly.
Would you like to shake hands with me?
No, I wouldn't. One of the real pleasures of being rich is not having to be polite.
I borrowed this...
Keep it. I can afford to buy a new set now.
Okay, so I still need it.
I gotta go.
Don't let me keep you.
Hello? It's George.
What now?
I found out the...
Is that so?
Yeah. You know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes, I delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Ubu. I don't remember the room number. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know. Now I've got you, Mr. Clown.
Yeah, I mean, that works. Oh, they've got this all boarded up.
Hi there, remember me?
Ah, mais oui, Inspector. Have you found him?
Who?
The man in the sewer, of course.
I'm, sifting through the evidence.
Rather you than me, monsieur. That reminds me, someone's been impersonating you. Came sniffing around just after you'd gone. Bold as brass. He tried to tell me he was a policeman. Inspector Rousseau, he claimed. I didn't tell him I'd been talking to you, not hours before.
Thank goodness. Impersonating a police officer is a serious offense. A man with so little respect for the law must be desperate.
Yes,
George, do you
father,
listen to yourself?
Desperation opens the door to the devil. He was always coming out with things like that. Stupid man. So, when you are not exploring sewers, what do you do?
I take a lot of showers.
Oh, very good, monsieur. A policeman with a sense of humor.
Do you recognize...
Yes, I do.
Take a look.
You should.
Shake my hand. Go on, shake it.
You're joking, aren't you? Nothing personal, but you've been mucking about down the sewer.
Okay, fair enough.
I have to be going.
Good luck, Inspector.
Apparently I can still do stuff there. Now, I haven't gone to the police station yet.
It was Rosso's sidekick, Sergeant Moo. Excuse me.
Ah, Monsieur Stobbart, n'est-ce pas?
That's correct. You remember me.
The retention of such data is part of my duty as a gendarme. That is how crime is fought, through attention to detail, not intuition.
Yes, sure.
You are partnered with a psychic detective.
Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
No.
Not really. Do you know a man named Khan? He's a shifty-looking guy with a scar on his left cheek.
No, monsieur. Has this man any connection with the bombing of the cafe?
Yes. I believe Khan was the name he used when he hired the clown costume. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur.
It's the guy who bombed the cafe. The clown.
This man looks nothing like a clown.
He's taken off his grease paint and costume.
Then there is nothing to link this man with the killing.
Nothing? Look at those murderous eyes.
Murderous eyes aren't really helpful, George.
Hardly likely to get him convicted.
Would you like to shake my hand, Sergeant?
Not while I'm on duty, monsieur. The gesture could be misconstrued.
Damn.
Do you recognize this dirty tissue?
No, monsieur, I do not.
I found it in the sewer.
Perhaps it would be better if you put it back there.
No way. This could be an important clue.
If you say so, monsieur.
I found this red nose in the sewer.
What were you doing down there?
Fishing for clues. That's where the clown went.
You still insist you saw a clown, monsieur?
Of course. And this novelty nose proves it.
It will take more than a plastic proboscis to convince Inspector Rousseau.
You don't want this as evidence, then?
Certainly not, monsieur.
What do you suppose this tool is used for, Sergeant Moo?
It looks like something an obstetrician would use, monsieur.
It was with tools like this that the clown made his escape.
I don't understand.
He opened up the hole and disappeared into the bowels of the earth.
If you say so, monsieur.
George, I swear to God, man.
Is Rosso here?
Yes,
Yes, I do.
One moment, monsieur. Stobbart is here to see you, monsieur.
Did he say what it was about?
No, monsieur.
Very well.
Hi, Inspector. Remember me?
But of course, Mr. Stobbart. My mind is a well-ordered faculty. A mental classification system that's the envy of the Bibliothèque Nationale. No tricks, mark you, monsieur. Just exercise. Just as our muscles waste through inactivity, so our minds decay. But there is no need. If only people would learn to exercise their wits daily.
If he was trying to impress me, it worked. He was pompous and patronizing, but he had style.
George isn't wrong.
If you called about the bombing, you're too late. Investigations have been closed.
But
I've been taken off the case.
what about the murderer, the dead guy?
It is out of my hands.
Don't you want to know what I found out about the killer?
I told you, monsieur, the case is closed. I have washed my hands of the whole affair.
Then I'll have to continue my investigations without your help.
No, you must forget the business of the clown completely. Go back to being an ordinary tourist, Stobbart.
Did you find out the ID of the guy who was killed in the explosion?
I already knew who he was.
Well, who was he then?
I heard that the bomb victim's name was Plantar.
Your sources are reliable.
He was a big shot at the Treasury, wasn't he? Maybe that's why you've been taken off the case.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I cannot comment.
What was that psycho-detective business you did in the cafe?
It is my theory that the passions evoked in violent crimes create ripples in the ether, invisible to all but the possessor of a highly developed and receptive mind.
I'm impressed. Can you bend spoons, too?
I didn't think a man of your obvious intelligence would stoop to mockery.
I'm not mocking. I've had personal experience of the power of the mind. I used to get ignored at parties until I read a book that changed my life.
Really? What was it called?
Hypnotism for Fun and Profit. He looked at me as if I'd farted at a funeral.
The power of mesmerism is a rare gift, not a party trick.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No.
It's the face of a killer.
The man who bombed the cafe?
The photograph was taken soon after the explosion. He'd escaped through the sewers, leaving a trail of clues behind him.
Circumstantial evidence, Stobbart. None of it proves a thing.
I found this tissue in the sewer.
It would have been best if you'd left it there.
Yeah, fair, fair.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
I'd imagine it means you have not given up your pursuit of the clown.
You're absolutely right. What do you make of this, Rosso?
It is a tool for gaining access to sewers.
Would you care to shake my hand, Inspector?
Please don't be offended if I decline your offer, Stobbart. The palms of my hands are particularly sensitive.
You're not going to try any of that psychic interrogation on me, are you?
Do you find the thought of my probing distasteful?
Let's just say I'd rather you didn't. I've got more doubts than doubting Thomas when it comes to mysticism.
Too bad. I think you would make an interesting subject under controlled regression.
The day I let anyone mess with my mind hasn't dawned yet.
All right, that's all I have to say.
So long, Inspector.
I kind of like the fluid bounce to his walk in the old version. It's a little bit different than new, but it's definitely charming.
It was a public telephone.
Bonjour, couleur.
Hi, it's George. I have the address of the killer's hotel.
If you're going to pay him a visit, take care. Remember, that guy's a professional.
Thanks. I'll be fine. It was a public telephone.
I can't go any further into that. I'm not sure if I even have to save in this game. So there's auto saves, and then there's hard saves. Gotcha. Okay. Well, we're at a good, like, pausing point. So let me do another BRB now, rather than wait like 10 minutes. And then we'll come back and do a little bit more game. So. Oh, that seems much louder now. Anyway, I'm going to tap ad break, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, everybody, I am back. Switch back to the game. So I guess I'm going to the hotel. Oh, hello.
The guy looked just like a weasel. The man looked like an amiable Bigfoot. Excuse me,
Yes?
have you heard of a guy called Plantar?
No. That name means nothing to me.
I'm looking for a clown.
Are you trying to be funny?
No, I really am looking for a clown.
There are no clowns here except you.
And there's going to be mean.
Do you know a man by the name of Khan?
No, I don't.
It's very important I get to see him, and
I told you. I don't know it.
what does this tissue mean to you?
Are you serious?
Oh, yes. Take a good look at the substance it's smeared with.
You are sick. Very sick.
Have you ever seen this clown's nose before?
No.
What does this tool suggest to you?
Hard labor.
Will you shake my hand?
Are you joking? Who knows where it has been?
Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
No. I never saw it.
Forget it. Excuse me.
Yeah?
You ever meet a guy called Plantar?
No, I ain't.
You missed your chance. If you're quick, you'll catch him at the coroner's. Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
No, I ain't. Don't tell me I missed him. Oh, that's too bad. I love the clowns, don't you?
I've seen daytime television that was funnier.
I love it when the little guys get hyped.
That figures.
Custard pies, hose pipe down the pants, then smack! A plank in the kisser.
Do you happen to know a guy named Khan?
That ain't nobody I know.
I'm sorry to be a burden on your brain. Do you recognize this tissue? Think carefully now.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
I'm gonna have to hurry you.
ooh!
Time's up, so I'll tell you. It's a used tissue with a liberal dump of Bestheimer's number 12.
If you say so.
So his accent doesn't sound French. It's interesting.
Have you ever seen this clown's nose before?
Nope.
What do these... Oh, never mind. Shake my hand.
Nah.
Oh, rats. Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
Is this a trick question?
No, I simply asked if you recognized him.
Okay then. Nope, I don't.
See you later.
Not if you see me first.
The sign listed the price of rooms, and boy, were they expensive. The killer must have been earning a fat wad to pay for accommodation like this.
So before I go inside, nothing? Really? Nothing? Guess I... Wait. Oh, it's to go back out the alley. Okay.
figure of a sexless youth was frozen in mid-skip with a silly grin on its stone lips. The woman was obviously English. She had all the qualities of Boadicea, Elizabeth I, and Margaret Thatcher rolled into one. It wasn't a pretty sight.
No need to be a
I
dick,
recognized
George.
the guy. It was the Nobel Prize winner from the country whose name I couldn't pronounce. It was a magnificent old Steinway piano. I figured the lady at the keys wouldn't appreciate a duet with a musical illiterate like me. Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment I thought... But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George Stobbart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak.
Ma'am?
You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
Stop talking, please.
Did you know there's a gangster out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets.
Ma'am!
That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
I'm looking for a murderer.
Good heavens! You're a private detective.
That's correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use? It's
Oh.
on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, godly.
What you're thinking of is Dick.
Precisely.
Okay, now. Okay, I'm liking this writing more than I realized I would.
Have you come across a man who calls himself Khan?
I am familiar with only one person named Khan.
Genghis Khan, the legendary Mongol barbarian chieftain?
No, darling. Kevin.
Kevin Khan? I never heard of him.
I'd be most surprised if you had, darling. He's a pharmacist in Hemel Hempstead. Organizes fundraising for the Rotarians. Lovely man.
Does he have a scar on his cheek?
I really wouldn't know, sweetie.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
Okay, that's good.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. The wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel Hempstead. That was until last night.
Ma'am?
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobbart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight. Romantic music tinkling across the room. And then, a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
Damn.
Who was the guy who led you on?
His name is Merlin.
Do you know what this is?
At a guess, I'd say it was a clown's nose.
That's right. It was worn as a disguise.
Good heavens,
It's true. Can you think of any use for this tool, ma'am?
Oh, I can think of someone I'd like to use it on.
Does this tissue mean anything to you?
Good God, no!
I just thought the smell might be familiar.
Please, darling, put it away. I'm no shrinking violet, but that object makes me feel quite queasy.
Would you like to shake my hand, ma'am?
Now, George, there's no need to be so formal. We met as tourists, and I want to keep it that way, despite the enormous social...
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest. He's the man I've been telling you about. That's the man who spurned me.
All right.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobbart. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honor. You know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
Okay, that's a good sign.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah, I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantar's briefcase.
Oh, we still got more on
Did
this.
Merlin return to the hotel?
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would. I have to go, ma'am. Excuse me, didn't I see your picture in the news? You're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Yes, that is me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you know a guy called Plantar?
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
I'm, sure you have. Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
My pants are from England. Marks and Spencer. They are a pleasure and a comfort to wear, with much support.
I'm real glad to hear that. You know, it's good to know you Nobel Prize winners are human too.
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons.
For pants?
For everything. Oppression is the matter of ingenuity.
Does this goo-smeared tissue mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
What does this clown's nose suggest to you?
In my country, we have no use for clowns.
I'm glad to hear it.
They were dealt with most severely in the last cultural cleansing.
Damn.
What about the mimes? Did you get them too?
All gone. Our streets are mime-free.
Sounds like heaven. Have you any idea what this tool might be used for?
I cannot guess.
Would it mean anything if I told you it was for lifting drain covers?
Such technology fills me with wonder.
Do you recognize this man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective. May I shake you by the hand?
I do not shake the hands of imperialist dogs.
Now that's a real bad attitude problem you've got there. What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You know he's a killer.
Of course, amongst other things.
Yeah, who's this
Can you
guy?
help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe. I cannot jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
Okay.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
It was the register of guests staying at the hotel. There was no one registered under the name of Khan. If the killer was staying here, he'd used a different pseudonym. The clerk wore a disdainful expression, like he'd been born with it. I want some information.
Who are you?
Oh, they had cotton in their ears, my
I'm
god.
conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
Do you know a man named Plantar?
No, monsieur.
What do you make of this?
Do you wish me to...
Hey, no! It could be...
As you wish, monsieur. Perhaps you would like a little plastic.
Nah, it's fine. Do you recognize this red nose?
No, monsieur.
What do you make of this tool?
Stunning, monsieur.
Hey, shake my hand.
I'd rather not, monsieur. I'm still sore from the shock administered by one of the guests. He was secretly concealing an electrical device in the palm of his hand. Practical jokes are so puerile, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, sure. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
I'm looking for a man.
This is a highly respectable hotel, monsieur. There are no clowns here.
If you say so. I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I must have some form of unique ID.
You won't find a more unique ID than my scar.
I'm sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification.
Rats.
Alright, so yeah, I tried everything.
Thanks for your help, buddy. Hanging from a brass hook was a key and a plastic tag.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
What?
You are trying to steal that key, no?
No way.
Okay, let's go upstairs.
The sign on the door read 21. The door was locked. The sign on the door read 22. If the tailor's description was correct, this was the killer's room. Room number 23. The door was locked.
Can't interact with anything on that side.
The door was locked. In the ornate booth was the most elegant public telephone I'd ever seen. No point in phoning that guy.
Bonjour.
Hi, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
No problem, if you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check. Nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
You bet.
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
Nothing, Guido. Zilch.
Our apologies, monsieur.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authority.
You want I should break his arms?
No. Let him go, Flap.
Why did they do that? What are they so worried about me leaving the hotel with?
Shorty, I didn't think much of your trick, little man. I don't know what you're looking for, but you picked on the wrong guy. Maybe you'll spread the word around the sewers. George Stobbart is on the case. That's Stobbart. 2 B's and 2 T's. It sounded impressive to me, but the weasel didn't seem to share my enthusiasm. Still, I figured he'd think twice before gunning me down in the street in cold blood.
I do not like your tone.
Oh, yeah? And what are you going to do about it?
If you do not go away, I will gun you down in cold blood, right here in the street, without thinking twice about it.
Well, fine then.
Forget it. Excuse me.
Yeah?
Don't you think you have some explaining to do?
Huh?
I'm an American citizen and a bona fide visitor to your country.
What the...
You can't touch me up in the street and expect to get away with it.
Get lost, creep.
Okay. I can hear a bird, but I can't see one. Oh, I can leave. Hmm. Not what I wanted. I don't think anybody will be back here, but Oh, I can go in the place now.
It looked like some kind of antiquated invalid carriage with passenger seats. The door was locked. The fountain had probably been attractive at one time, but now it looked like an old stained urinal. The fountain had probably been attractive at one time, but now... The door led to the apartment of the blustering old concierge. Hello again.
Yes, Inspector.
I've got nothing. I wanted to go inside.
I have to be going.
Good luck, Inspector.
The toolbox didn't contain anything.
Hmm.
Oh, hi.
Hello, my handsome friend.
Do you recognize...
Hmm,
He's a killer.
I can see that.
Would you like to shake...
No, I wouldn't.
Hmm.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
I found the address of the hotel
Hey,
where
Ravi.
the killer stayed.
Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for the well
Is he
wishes.
still there?
If he is, he's changed his name.
Playing some vintage story with me? No worries, Robbie. I appreciate whenever you can stop by.
What are you doing to help trace the killer clown?
Research, George.
Yeah? You have a copy of the clown's yearbook?
I
George,
have
don't be a
telephone
dick.
And lots of contacts.
Oh, well, did you find anything useful?
Not yet. I'm employing my first and most useful weapon.
What's that?
Patience.
Oh, I've heard of that. Isn't it a substitute for decisive thinking?
George, don't be a dick.
Have you found out any more about the murders?
Well, it may be nothing, but both the clown's victims visited Paris earlier this year.
When?
The second week of July. They were both here at the same time.
Did they meet?
I don't know, but I can't imagine it was coincidence.
The guy at the novelty shop gave me this.
What is it?
A hand buzzer. You put it in your hand and give people electric shocks.
Why?
It's a gag, a practical joke.
If you ever use it on me, I'll break your arm.
Okay. I get the picture.
Hmm.
See you later.
Where are you going now?
I could go back to the Hotel Ubu, I guess. Whatever those two thugs are after must be important.
Okay, so there's something at the hotel, clearly. I'm not seeing it. Out of curiosity, did they check me whenever I leave?
Hold it right there. Search him again.
nothing, kiddo.
Okay, let him go.
Alright, so whenever I leave, even if I just walk in and out.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
That gangster I told you about?
Good heavens! Thank you for the warning. I shall hide my credit cards in my underwear.
Can't you
Ugh.
distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
Yes.
I guess I am.
Good heavens, I must be dreaming.
I don't think so, ma'am.
Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
It's next to the room the killer is using.
Ah, so you plan to eavesdrop on Merlin?
I was hoping there might be a connecting door.
I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case, but a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick. I say, you there, flunky?
Oui, madame.
Listen carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewelry for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Over to you, my dear.
Thank you, ma'am.
It was a key ring bearing one large brass key and a tag which read Hotel Ubu. Maybe it wasn't the right room, but this was the right key. It was a massive mahogany wardrobe.
Okay.
There was nothing in the wardrobe apart from a vague, lingering smell of camphor.
Camphor.
A cabinet stood beside the bed.
Okay. What happens when I play with the cabinet?
The cabinet was empty, but it smelt of onions. No kidding, it really did.
Hmm.
The window looked out over a narrow alley surrounded by high walls.
Why are they hoarding onions in there? I don't know. The people in this game are a little bit weird. Oh, out the window we go.
If I wanted my shins sticking out of my shoulders, I could have jumped. Mama Stobbart didn't raise no suicidal fools, though. The cabinet had no drawers, just a single door. The assassin had been too smart. It was the battered leather brief.
So what's in it?
I searched the interior of the briefcase, but as the closet was a solid, impressive piece of antique furniture. The pants were newly laundered and pressed with immaculate creases. There was nothing in the pockets of the pants. The bed was several times larger than the narrow cot I'd been given at the place I was staying. The bed was freshly made, and the crisp white sheets told me nothing about the killer's habits.
It's in the cabinet then.
The assassin had been too smart to leave incriminating evidence.
Hey, Seanreal.
I had the kind of feeling in my stomach that would usually send me running to the bathroom.
Oh, we're going to the closet. Haven't seen this game in many moons. Changing his pants. What's actually kind of neat is apparently there's a way to toggle between the original version and this version. You just tap a button and switch between the two.
The pants matched the jacket which the killer had lost in Paris. I couldn't believe my luck when I found two items in the pockets of the pants. The first was an ordinary matchbook. No matches, no clues. The second was a pass card which read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Oh, so it is Merlin.
The pants
But here's the trick. I need to leave.
The door was locked.
Can I get into this last room?
It wasn't the right key for the door.
Alright.
The door was locked. The door was locked.
Okay, fine. I'll unlock it and go back inside.
The matchbook bore a pattern of swirling color and the words Club Alamut. It was the card I'd found in the hotel bedroom. It read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Oh god, is it that easy to get whatever I need out of the safety deposit box? Because the guy wants ID. Oh god, let it be that easy.
Hello again. Do you recognize this card?
No, I do not.
Does the name on this matchbook mean anything to you?
Indeed it does, for Alamut was the home of the old man of the mountains. You do not know him?
No, I don't.
Interesting.
Do you recognize this key?
No, I do not.
Thanks for your...
Goodbye.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
I found this path.
So, that deceitful little man is passing himself off as an electrician, is he?
Uh-huh. This... I got the key. Thanks for your help, ma'am.
She's a very fancy English lady.
I found this matchbook in Merlin's bedroom.
It came from the Club Alamut. It might be useful to find out if that club is in Paris, George.
Okay.
I have to go, ma'am.
What's Nicole have to say?
Bonjour, couleur.
Hi, it's George. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Oh, that ain't it. Short conversation? Yeah, I did a lot of the talking earlier. Let's see what they're looking for. What do they want from me?
Hold it right there. Search him again, Flash.
Nothing, Guido.
Okay, let him go.
Okay.
Excuse me.
What do you want?
Does this matchbook...
That's a double-line Swedish with a crosshatch Bergman strike strip. Now, that's unusual. Pre-war Anderson hinging.
Really?
I haven't seen a reinforced Anderson outside of a private collection.
It's rare then?
In this part of the world, yes. There are only 3 places these are made. Taiwan, Manila, and Slough.
Interesting.
Does the name Merlin mean anything to you, Sergeant?
Nothing, monsieur.
No.
Don't show the cop the thing you nicked.
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur. Where is the victim?
I'm the victim. I've been harassed by a pair of thugs.
I see. And where did this alleged assault take place?
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
This time.
What do you do about Flap and Guido, Sergeant?
I'm going to bust them, monsieur. For years I have been hoping to pin something on that pair. Now's my chance. I'll show them. And the inspector.
Thanks, Sergeant. Thanks for taking me seriously.
I'm only doing my duty, monsieur.
Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Yes, I do.
Sure.
Moment, monsieur. It's Stobbart, monsieur. He insists on talking to you again.
Thank you, Moo. What now, monsieur?
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No, monsieur. I suggest you ask Sergeant Moo about that. God only knows why, but he collects matchbooks. He claims it is a hobby.
I mean, there are worse
Does the
hobbies.
name Thomas Merlin mean anything to you?
No, monsieur, nothing.
It's another one of the assumed names used by the killer.
Ah, the famous killer clown case.
Yeah. You might have forgotten all about it, but I still aim to find that guy. That is not... So long, Inspector.
All right, let's try this.
Bonjour.
Hi. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay, that was not it. It seems like there's something else I have to do here, but I don't know what. Whereas this place is completely done. Okay, that's actually not what I wanted to do.
What now, monsieur?
I've just been manhandled.
Yes?
No, not a real gorilla. It happened right out front of this building.
Let me get this. Are you complaining or bragging?
I want to know what you're going to do about it. The scrawny one has a gun.
I suggest you contact the police.
Can't you do anything about them?
What goes on in the streets of Paris is hardly my responsibility.
Aren't you concerned that your guest...
No one else has complained, monsieur? Did they steal anything from you?
Well, no. They didn't find what they were looking for.
What was that?
I don't know. I don't think they did either.
Interesting.
Does this pass mean anything to you?
That is Monsieur Merlin's property.
That's right. Merlin the murderer. I want to see what he's left in your safe.
Impossible. I cannot betray his confidence, no matter what you say he's done.
You're making a big mistake.
Maybe. I can live with that.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No, monsieur.
Do you recognize this key?
That is the property of the Hotel Ubu.
Correct.
May I ask how it found its way from the little hook to your pocket?
Would you believe it was put there by a poltergeist?
No, monsieur. The hotel is regularly serviced by an exorcist. If we had a ghost, Father Fécond would have flushed it out.
Father Fécond?
Suppose you want the key back.
Not spécialement. The room is vacant. Since you are so determined to conduct your little investigation, I won't stop you.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
Okay. Having determined how the murderous clan escaped, George did this, looking for the clues. He found a way to search the room and nearly got caught when the killer returned. Okay, give me a hint. So something from the safe, the clerk won't give it to me. Another earful. Okay. That explains it. Lady Piermont.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Would you like to keep Merlin's pass as a memento?
No, darling.
I showed the pass to the clerk, hoping but he wouldn't buy it.
I'll give him something to be scared of. Follow me, George! Did you place a package from Merlin in the hotel safe?
I did, madame.
And did my friend here show you Merlin's identification?
Indeed he did, but
What's the problem?
he isn't Merlin.
A mere academic detail. Give him the package.
But that is against the law.
I happen to be a justice of the peace, you silly man. I am the law. If he tries anything, shoot him, George.
My pleasure.
One moment, please.
If he tries anything, shoot him. Dear God.
I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Piermont.
Voilà, monsieur. Le manuscrit de Monsieur Merlin.
Thanks.
How satisfying. An Anglo-American alliance that actually worked.
Dear
The clerk had
God.
given me a tightly rolled sheet of parchment. I decided not to unroll it until I was safely back in Nico's apartment.
All right. So we're going out the window.
The door was locked.
Oh my God. Stop making me use the key over and over again.
The cobbles of the alleyway looked very distant and very hard. If I wanted my shins sticking out of my shoulders, Mama Stobbart didn't raise...
There's nothing in here. They're almost certainly going to search me at the front door. And they're probably going to take this.
Hold it right there. Search him again, Flap.
Is this what you're after, Guido?
See, that's see.
I can explain everything.
Too late. You're on your way to feed the fishes.
I'm allergic to fish. I break out in blotches when I eat tuna.
Let's go.
Sometime later. Oh, it's a straight up death. Okay. Well now, I found out the ending. Man, I got there in like 2 hours time.
Bonjour.
Hi, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Hey, I've got something awesome to show you.
Oh, yeah? What is it?
A surprise.
Oh, I don't like...
I can't tell you just now, but I'll come show you soon. Hello again. Have you ever You know what it is, don't you?
You are in great. Put the manuscript back.
What's going on?
I can say
Thanks for your help.
goodbye.
Oh, I can drop the manuscript out the window.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
This is what Merlin...
Really?
It's some kind of manuscript.
If I was you, I'd keep it well out of...
That's exactly... I could roll it up and...
No, that you'd attract far too much attention.
I have to go, ma'am.
Okay, I got this now. I got it. So I can't leave with the manuscript without dying. But I can go out the window, throw it out the back, and then come get it.
It was the ancient... I knew this was no way to treat an ancient manuscript, but I couldn't let it fall into the hands of the goons waiting outside.
Okay, yeah.
Hold it right there. Search him again, Flap.
Nothing, Guido.
Okay, let him go.
If the manuscript was what Flap and Guido were after, they were going to be disappointed. I couldn't wait to get back to Nico's apartment and check it out.
Back in her apartment.
You're just not going to believe what I found.
It's not another part of the clown's costume, is it?
Hey, you had Jack Squat before me.
It's a medieval manuscript. Khan left it in the safe at the Ubu.
It's incredible. Is this what he took from Plantar?
It could be, which means it's worth enough to kill for.
Look there, two guys on the same horse.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they couldn't afford one each. What of it?
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar? Their official seal was an image of two knights sharing a horse. Whatever this manuscript means, it's connected with the Templars.
How come you know about these knights?
I learned about them while writing an article on the Crusades. This guy, named Deuscain, arrived one day at the court of King of Jerusalem. He offered to protect the Christian pilgrims from the displaced Muslim army. The king would be able to guarantee safe transit to Christians in the Holy Land. Safer journeys meant more pilgrims, and pilgrims meant trade and wealth. The Templars proved invaluable to the king as a mercenary army. It was said that they never asked how many the enemy numbered, just where they were. And as the years went by, the Templars grew in wealth and numbers. They were so rich, even kings came to them for loans. But at the height of their power, they fell foul of the King of France. He rounded them up and turned them over to the Inquisition. Thousands of Templars were subject to torture and confessed to heresy. Of course, at the hands of the Inquisition, there wasn't much they wouldn't confess to. The last Grand Master Jacques de Molay was burned alive. But the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found.
Jeez. So the treasure is hidden, waiting to be discovered?
If there ever was a treasure, it's been lost for 600 years. Anyway,
We're supposed to be investigating a serial killer, not a medieval treasure trove.
But maybe that's what the clown and his accomplices are after. Maybe this manuscript is the key.
You'd better leave it here for safekeeping. Think about it, Josh. One guy's already died for it, as you said yourself. Besides, that parchment is fragile.
Okay, I'm convinced. You keep hold of it.
Alright, it's out of my inventory.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Let's face it, we need help, George. Someone who knows about these things.
Who do you suggest? Indiana Jones?
I know a guy who specializes in medieval studies. His name is Lobino.
Huh. Some stuffy old fossil who gets horny over ancient relics, I suppose.
Far from it. Andre isn't the stereotypical professor you have in mind.
Where can I find this Lobino guy?
At the Krone Museum. I'll give you the address.
Okay, that's good.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull.
The only mythological bull I know of is the Minotaur, but he was only half bull.
I don't think I'd like to be half a bull, even if it was the bottom half.
What's that object between them?
It looks like a gem on top of a tripod. There's a guy working on a loom. He's weaving a carpet or a tapestry.
Or a
Okay.
duvet cover. It's a clue to a place, I reckon. Somewhere famed for weaving and ships.
Where folk live in barrels?
It beats copper boxes.
A knight with a crystal ball. There's something written on the scroll beside the knight.
Yes, but it's written in Latin. Per disciplinam mea lux videbis.
By my teachings, you will see the light.
You speak Latin? Where did you learn a trick like that?
School.
A trick? I studied law, okay? I can read Latin.
My, you're touchy. Tell me that again.
Through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
Okay.
There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
She reminds me of the wicked queen in Snow White.
She was the one who said mirror, mirror on the wall, wasn't she? She made me cry so much when I was a kid, Mom carried me out of the movie theater.
She didn't frighten me in the least.
Like I said, I was only a kid. I didn't like the crocodile in Peter Pan either.
Okay.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
I thought there was a thing for the... Wait. Yeah, I thought it had, like, the briefcase.
I found this matchbook. It's from the club.
Never heard of it.
No, what were you
If this was a movie, that's no use.
Oh, well, I'll keep... I found this.
What is it?
ID. Thomas Merlin of the Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Never heard of him or the company.
Okay.
Maybe I'll check out the crew.
I'm sure you'll...
Alright, that's not too bad for a first night's work. Track down an assassin and uncover a medieval mystery. Okay. So let's look for somebody to raid. Somebody else working on Broken Sword. It's a horror game. Somebody doing art. Fear and Hunger 2. Oh wow, Fear and Hunger 2 is out. Final Fantasy, The Four Heroes of Light. lockdown protocol with somebody. There aren't a lot of people online tonight. I guess TwitchCon probably was a bigger thing than I realized. Let me check a few channels and see who's playing something and who's about to tap out of something. One person's been going for about 2 hours. And the other person's been going for like 30 minutes. Whoop, ad break's running. Darn it, I missed it. Yeah, let's do this one for Lockdown Protocol. Alright, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I hope you had a good time. We are going to be back probably Monday night with more Persona 5. So, I will see you later. Have a good rest of your weekend, everybody. Take care.